If you guys are in need of any grinding services, hit up my guy Rose NBA on Twitter. From domination to getting you guys a 95 plus overall hidden gem, he does it all. What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be taking a look at each and every one of the new cards coming out today in the top of the class promo added into my team today. Now, before we dive any further into it, we kind of did look at the pink diamonds as far as the diamonds, and briefly to talk about them, really am a fan of Jaren Jackson Jr. Really do like Dr. J. Those are probably the two cards I'm highest on. But what does an James Edwards look like? What does a guy like Mike Woodson, 6'5" shooting guard, look like? Even James Jones, the sharpshooter. That's what we're going to be breaking down, all of these guys, as well as taking a brief look at their jump shots, their releases. Start off with Deadly 6'4", 76 3 ball, defensively okay. This card is not a card that I'm ever going to use. I mean, he's just not. He's a placeholder. Steven Hunter is 7 feet tall. He does have 89 interior, but this card stinks. Decent gold badges, I guess. Dante Green, 75 3 ball. That's all the card does. 0 badges. He stinks. Darrell Walker, 6'4", 59 3 ball. Defensively, not the worst, but he stinks as well. Lasagna, we haven't seen a Lasagna card, Lasagna Diop, in a while, or drop. 76 speed for this card, good interior. He is an inside center, one of your best gold cards in the game. He actually is, guys. He's got good interior, he's got good speed. Jop is really, really solid. Harvey Grant up next, 6'9", shooting guard, 59 3 ball. Defensively, not great, not very high on the card. Ralph Sampson is 7'4". And so here's the thing about Ralph. He's got 25 speed. We know that is going to be a little bit of a struggle, but he is 7'4". And so is he going to be a cheese ball? I don't necessarily know. I don't know if I love this card or not. But at the end of the day, I see some positives with the card. So again, I don't know about Ralph, but he is 7'4". That is one positive of the card for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. For Wreck-It Ralph, Keyonte George, 6'4", 83 ball, decent ball handle. The problem is his defense, right? Decent speed. He is 6'4". Honestly, I feel like if you badge Keyonte George up, he could be solid. So for an Emerald, I don't hate this card. I don't think this card's worthless, anything like that. However, I do think there are going to be better cards in to add to your squad. Liddell Equals up next. You guys can see Emerald here, 6'5", 82 3 ball, decent ball handle. Defensively, again, we're seeing kind of a common thing right now. Defensively, these cards are not ideal. So that's kind of the one thing I would say about Liddell. Not great. Out of the Emeralds, probably the highest on Keyonte George. James Jones, 6'8", 94 3 ball. Defensively going to be a liability. But he's going to shoot the rock. That's one thing you know with James Jones, is he is going to shoot the ball incredibly good. Again, great badges across the board. I am a fan of James Jones. I say great badges, great shooting badges for the card. If you do play a lot of offline modes, James Jones should be able to scorch the nets. Jerome Williams, only a 34 3 ball, defensively good, not great. 8 gold badges. Don't love the card. I mean, it's just that simple. Mike Woodson, 6'5", 79 3 ball, 80 driving dunk. This card stinks as well. Can we just get 1 or 2 budget cards? Is that too much to ask for? Rodney Stuckey, 6'5", 86 3 ball, 82 ball handle. Defensively, not great though. Badge-wise, he's okay, but defensively, a liability. Can James Edwards be decent? 7'1", 35 3 ball. Defensively, horrible. We did not see one good budget card today. We saw 0. We saw 0 good budget cards today. And so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go in here right now, and I'm going to buy a bunch of these Marquise Daniels. He's going to be out of packs, and we saw 0 good budget cards. So, I mean, to me, I don't see a way in which this card's value gets any cheaper. I like Daniels, and I think he's only going to go up in price. So, that's my personal opinion. Even a guy like Ellison, I think Purvis Ellison probably will go up in price as well. Maybe even Otto Porter. Because we can't just continue to get these horrible budget cards and expect people to just sit still. Like, people are gonna need budget cards. And so you guys can hate me all you want, but when I see no good budget cards added to a drop, added to a set, I'm going to do stuff like this. I don't know if I'd recommend you guys doing it, but I just am so sick and tired of the lack of solid, I'm not even talking about great budget cards, solid budget cards that I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk that these cards will go up in price just for the so effective. We're not even seeing Sapphires nearly this good. So even a guy like Harrison Barnes, another guy that I think is really solid for his value and a guy that can, at least go out there and compete. His value is all the way up from where it was. Otto Porter, his price has probably went way up as well. And so that's something to at least kind of think about. I'm not telling you guys to do what I'm doing right now. I don't know if it's for sure going to work out for me. But when I just see another drop in which we don't get any good budget cards, it just makes sense to buy some good budget cards if there are any. So like for me, Marquise Daniels to me was the best budget card. And so I'm going to stock up on him. Now let's get into the diamonds. The cards that we'll talk about quite a bit. Dejounte Murray, 6'5". Decent 3-ball, decent driving dunk, decent ball handle, defensively, pretty solid. I don't have an issue with Dejounte Murray. Badge-wise, the card is really solid as well. Now, I wonder if I go and try to shoot around with him and play now, if the rosters are going to be updated and he is going to be injured or not. Because they do update rosters quite often, and it does look like Dejounte Murray is injured. So, yikes. I mean, that's all you can really say about that. I don't know, again, what Dejounte Murray's release looks like. Maybe I have him in my squad so I can at least look what the card is like. But my thing about Dejounte Murray is this. While I load the card up, I feel like his player build in past 2Ks hasn't been the best. I know he's 6'5". I know there's times like that height runs the game. But like, I feel like Dejounte's player build's not great. This year, it doesn't look that bad. Release-wise, it looks okay. I don't think Dejounte's going to be bad. I don't. I think his release is good enough to use, have success with. I think his player model's fine. He's going to play defense for you. I actually like Dejounte Murray. Yesterday and last night, when I went over the cards, I wasn't sure on Dejounte Murray. But the more I'm using him, the more I like the card. Brandon Miller up next from his Charlotte, 6'7", 200 pounds, 89 3-ball, 95 driving dunk, 89 ball handle. Defensively, okay. Not great. One thing I don't like about Brandon Miller are his badges. I just feel like his badges are so mediocre in the game. And that is something that I for sure would like to just be a little bit better. And I'm not hating on Brandon Miller. That's kind of a small part of the card. But I would like to see that just be a little bit better. Now, let's take a look at Brandon Miller's jump shot, because that is one thing in past 2Ks that Brandon Miller has had going for him, is just one of the better jump shots in the entire game. So let's go here, Brandon Miller, put him and just see what this jump shot looks like. His jump shot is still immaculate. Jump shot wise, one of the better jump shots that I've used in this game. I mean, genuinely, in my team, he's got one of the better jump shots. Not perfect. It just reminds me of kind of like a Victor Oladipo, shoots it from in front of his body. Brandon Miller's jump shot is just quicker. So I like Brandon Miller. When you're looking at his fade, his leaner, it looks fine, not great. I didn't look at Dejounte's leaner. But Brandon Miller, I think, used to have Pro 2, so it's not Pro 2, but still at least decent enough. I think Brandon Miller and Dejounte Murray both. When I looked at the card yesterday, I wasn't that high on them. I think they are both A-okay. Then we do see Doug West. This card's horrible. I'm not going to sit here and spend a bunch of time on him. 6'6", low 3-ball. Can't standing dunk, defensively mediocre. This card's not good. If you get a diamond, you got to hope it's not Doug West. Amare Stoudemire, smooth release, 6'10", good 3-ball, or solid 3-ball. Did great dunking the ball. Defensively solid, good rebounder. I don't hate Amare Stoudemire. Now, the one problem with Amare that I personally see are, okay, where are his badge count? His badge count's relatively low. He's not going to compete that well on the interior. You're going to have to badge his card up. And if you do fully badge Amare, you're going to get a good power forward. It's just one of those things. You're going to have to be the one to spend the MT to do so. Jaren Jackson Jr., one of the best bigs in the game. 88 3-ball, good standing driving dunk, 97 block, 95 interior, good steal perimeter, good rebounder, 87 speed, 12 Hall of Fame badges, including paint patroller, set shot, brick wall, rebound, box out beast, interceptor. Some of those great badges that you want. There are no flaws in Jaren Jackson Jr., and I hope you guys are hearing what I'm telling you. This card in Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be one of your better bigs in the entire game. Now, what is his price going to be? I don't know. I'm actually scared for what Jaren's price is going to be. Release-wise, it's pretty quick. Genuinely, I'm not saying that like it's perfect or it's going to be super easy to time and green, but it is going to be one of the quicker jump shots in the game. So I love this card, Jaren. I mean, from top to bottom, the card's complete. His jump shot is quick. It's good. He is going to be probably my favorite big in the game. And I don't know if I'm right by saying that, but looking at his release with how quick it is, Jaren is a must-have for my specific squad. He just is. I got to find a way to get enough MT for him, but he's a must-have. Then you see Luka, 6'7", 96 3-ball, decent driving dunk, decent ball handle, defense. He's okay. I feel like if you fully badge Luka, he's going to be fine. Like stat-wise, again, I talked more about him last night. Let's take a look at his release. The thing for Luka is this. You're going to have to, definitely give him like the clamps badges like that. And with that, he's 6'7". So maybe he can guard the opposing small forward, somebody like that. Just so with Luka, you're not, looking at him guarding ball, but he can at least hold it down on like a secondary ball handler. But the main thing for me with Luka Doncic is, what is that release going to be like? Because Luka's had some really cheesy releases in the past. If you go back to, can I get out of 2K TV? If you go back and look in 2K20, 21? Luka had like a glitched release, which it was basically incontestable. You could not contest it. Then in past years, Luka's release just hasn't been great. I feel like Luka's release this year, I don't want to say it's unusable, but it's slow, it's methodical, it's just a release that I don't necessarily love. Now, not saying you can't green with it. I do think it's better with square than the shot stick. That's my personal opinion. It's going to be fine. For me with Luka Doncic, he's going to be one of your better point guards in the game. I don't think he's going to be worth the MT he's going for. Then next up, guys, we see the last two pink diamonds. We got Joel Embiid, and then we have Dr. J. Now, since the servers want to be so slow, let's talk about him. Joel Embiid is going to be really, really solid on this game. I think the problem with Joel Embiid is he is simply put going to get slightly overshadowed by a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. I genuinely believe that. And so when I'm comparing the cards, like I think Joel Embiid stat-wise is just as good as JJJ, and I think badge-wise he's nearly just as good. But the problem is Jaren's a diamond. He's probably going to be more popular than a guy like Joel Embiid. Now, let's talk about Joel Embiid and his jump shot, his release. Because I feel like we all know stat-wise what he's going to be like. And, as the servers are kind of broken right now, let's talk about his jump shot first. Let's just go to the jump shots. He's probably going to be hurt, huh? Oh, my goodness. I cannot stand the way 2K updates. This year, they update rosters faster than they ever have before. So I can't even go look at his jump shot. And since the servers want to be so slow, it is what it is. But let's take a look at Joel Embiid. Pass, power forward eligibility, 7 feet tall, 87 3 ball, really solid defensively, 84 speed, badge-wise is really good. So when looking at Joel Embiid, honestly, guys, there's not many flaws in the card. There's just not. Now, I don't have a way I can even look at his release, but his release is solid. I've used it before. Definitely solid enough in the game. Then we see Dr. J, 6'7", 89 3-ball, solid, standing driving deck, 90 ball handle, perfect defense, 96 speed, 11 Hall of Famers, 19 on gold. The Hall of Fame badges include on-ball menace. For Dr. J, for Julius Erving, you are not going to find many better players than Julius Erving in this game. You're just not. And I had free agent Dr. J so I can kind of show you guys exactly what that release looks like. Because Dr. J is a beast. And when I use this card, I used him a little bit in some of the King of the Court stuff. I mean, look at his release. It's perfect. His release is perfect. His movement is good. His player model is fantastic. And so when I'm looking at Dr. J, you're looking at one of the most complete cards in the entire game. Genuinely, I'm not saying that the card's going to be, Paul George, I still think is better, but I do think Dr. J is the real deal. So that's my opinion on the cards. Today's drop is elite. I said it before, I'll say it again. Am I opening packs? Probably not. But I'm telling you, this drop is next level good. That's going to wrap it up. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.